hi from me and my dad, and also the Coop dog. Cooper, say hi. My name is Danica Craig, and I am a stylist at Drybar. So I'm going to read the question and then I will answer it, and I'll do that for each one, so hopefully that makes it easiest for everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. First question here, what do you do in a typical day, week? Well, I work at Drybar, which is a blow dry bar. So what we do there is we are purely styling. So people will come in, we'll wash their hair, we blow dry it, and we use a round brush, and then we also use a blow dryer. And so that helps get the most volume. It makes the hair smooth, it makes it last longer. And then we also do updos or styling in general for special events. But then I also freelance on the side, as I feel like most stylists do. Really, even if they're in a full service salon, I feel like a lot of people still will freelance. So on freelancing, that's more of the color cuts, but I also do styling there as well. Kind of a theme, I suppose, over this whole career is that you can do as much of something or as little of something as you want, which is really cool, and there's a lot of flexibility and a lot of opportunity. Second question, what skills are most essential for success? So one thing that I think is really huge is communication. A lot of interpersonal communication with your teammates, communication with your manager, if you're in a salon, all of that is really important because this is a field where people are depending on you to be there at that appointment. They're depending on you to be on time, and they're also depending on you to let them know what's available. So if somebody comes in and they say, I want a fresh new look, but I'm not entirely sure what I want, you need to have those communication skills to be able to share with them new opportunities, what you think would look really flattering for their skin tone, their face shape, their lifestyle. Communication skills are really important. And I think that is just enjoying talking to people and being around people. If you're a people person, this is definitely a great field for you because you talk to people a lot about a lot of different things. I also find that in this job, it's really important to be self-sufficient and to have drive, because even if you are in a salon, it's up to you to make sure that you are doing things in a timely manner, to make sure that you are explaining the products, to make sure that you're rebooking somebody, and then also to constantly be learning, which being a stylist, being a cosmetologist, most people do because they're really passionate about it. So if you're passionate about something, it's super easy to continue to learn about it because it's what you enjoy. So drive and self-sufficiency is really important, but this is also a field where people get into it because they love it so much, and that passion usually drives the drive. How do you use science, technology, engineering, and or math in your job? When I got to cosmetology school, I found that there was a lot of science and math, and it helped make sense of everything. It helped make sense of the color, the cuts, the styling, because you could understand the reasoning behind it. If you're trying to formulate hair color and you think, I'm just gonna squirt some of this and squirt some of this and squirt some of this and put some of this in there and mix it, you might get what you want, but you might not. And so measuring is super important, to look at how much of developer. So developer is what activates the color, and then the color, which is the color tube itself. How much do we need of each of those in order to create that reaction? So if I am, let's say I'm coloring this friend's hair. So her hair is pretty dark. And if my developer and my color is too weak, it's not gonna do what I want to her hair. Maybe it's gonna be splotchy, maybe it's not gonna lift it at all, in which case I've just spent all this time coloring her hair and it didn't have the power that it needed. So that's really important to measure things and make sure you understand what the measurements require, and to get, again, the desired result. With regards to science, what happens when you're coloring your hair? So you have a strand of hair here, and you have to understand, first of all, what's on the hair? Do we have color on it already? Is it completely open? Has it never been touched? Does this person use a lot of styling products? Do they flat iron their hair a lot? Are we looking at damage? How is the hair going to process when you put these chemicals on it? Because that is hair color. It's all chemicals. You need to understand that when you color this, what happens is the cuticle around your hair opens and you're putting all of these color molecules in. Well, how is the color molecule you're adding going to react with the color molecules that are already in there? And if you don't understand the science behind it, it can be really scary because you might end up causing an adverse reaction. For example, if somebody has lightened their hair previously with bleach and you put a relaxer on it, the chemical reaction that happens there is it actually melts the hair. So it's really important to know that and to know how those reactions work and what those reactions are. Otherwise, you could end up not getting the result that you want. Perms are also another series of reactions. So you're putting the solution on the hair and then you need to neutralize it. Essentially, you're breaking all the bonds in the hair. Even when you wash your hair and dry it, you're breaking your bonds. So to understand all of those things is going to make you such a better stylist, because you can say, this is the end result I want to happen. This is where the hair is now. What kind of reactions do I need to create in order to get where I want to be? Because everybody's hair is different and everybody's hair has been on a different journey. Math is a huge aspect. So math comes into play a lot whenever you are cutting hair, because the way that we do that, and I'm sure that you've seen this before in your own hair, maybe on somebody else's, but if you're getting layers cut in your hair, you'll notice they'll pull the hair straight up. They'll pull the hair straight up, they'll pull it to the side, they'll pull it out a little bit, and all of that is understanding what angles you need to pull the hair at to create the layers that you want. So in cutting someone's hair, I'll take a little section here. And so if I pull it straight up, I am creating a 90-degree angle. Whenever we cut it at a 90-degree angle, when it falls, it's gonna hit here, which is very different than if we were cutting the hair at, say, a 135-degree angle, which is all the way over here. And so if I put my hair or my hands in the same position, we're gonna get a lot shorter if we do it that larger angle. Where the hair placement is at with relation to the head and the angle that creates is how hair cutting is done. It's all about the angles that you're creating and where it's gonna make the hair fall. What is the average annual salary? So this one can be kind of tricky because, like I said, there's a lot of freelance work to it, which you can choose to do or you can choose not to do. So I kind of broke this down into 3 sections because it really does depend on what your day-to-day looks like. But your first year, so outside of the apprenticeship, I would say probably 20 to 30K, 20 to 30,000 a year, because at this point you're building your books. Social media is huge, which I don't doubt that you guys are already super well versed in social media, so you're already a step ahead there. But first year is really that growing period, first and second year even. And then once you get into a mid-level stylist, so at this point we're talking, your book is built, you have a steady flow of clients coming in, they are buying products, which also most times you get a commission from people buying products. And so this is more of, you've got that full book, you're consistent, you're steady. I would say here you're probably looking at 40 to 60,000, depending on what kind of services you do. Now, what's really cool about this industry is you can make as much money as you want. There is not a limit. And people say that all the time about all sorts of fields, but it's 100% true because there are so many opportunities available. So you can be in a salon and you can be doing your thing as a stylist. You've got your clients, you're selling them products, they're doing upgrade service. All of that is just money in your pocket. And what type of educational requirements are typical of someone in your role? So you guys are already right on track. get that high school diploma. That's fantastic. That's number one step. And then cosmetology school comes after that. So cosmetology school is 1,500 hours in order to meet the licensing requirements. And people will take cosmetology school. Sometimes they might do it 2 days a week for longer sessions, 3 days a week for shorter sessions, night times and weekends, because usually people are also working during this time of going to cosmetology school. Not always, I was. And then after that, you have your state license tests. Your school is going to prepare you for those. You're going to learn all the things that you need. There's going to be a practical exam where you take one of these friendly doll heads over here and you show how to cut, color placement, and then there is also the theory. What do you enjoy most about your job? I love my job. I love styling, cutting, coloring, makeup. I love it. It's my passion. And I like the way that it can make people feel. So whenever you give someone a fresh haircut, a color, makeup, anything, and you see them look in the mirror and they're so happy, they feel so good. That's the best feeling and the best thing that I could give to somebody is feeling good about themselves. For example, I styled my mom's hair the other day, just informally. We were together and I blowed her hair and styled it, and she was taking selfies, she was playing with her hair, looking in the mirror, and that's awesome to make somebody feel so good that they're taking selfies, trying to find the best lighting. That's incredible. And why did I choose this particular job or career? So I chose this because I love it. I absolutely love it. As long as I can remember, I have been trying to get my friends and my family to sit still and let me do their hair and their makeup. So it just seemed like a natural fit because it's something that I've been trying to get people to let me do them for a long time. So now it's really cool because people pay me to do it and I don't have to get my friends and family to sit still. And did I always like science and math in school? Math, yes. I still really like math. I like math because it's like a puzzle and there's a right or a wrong answer. And for me, I really like that because there's a lot of clarity and it's very cut and dry. So I find that very soothing that there's a right answer and there's a wrong answer. And science, not so much. I think I just didn't like science because I couldn't grasp it. I will say that now I love learning about the science behind hair color and why ingredients in products affect the hair certain ways, about the reactions that they have. I love that part. I find it fascinating. I'll tell anybody who will listen. And so even though I didn't necessarily like science in school, now that I'm applying it to something that I do really like and it really matters deeply to me, that science aspect of it, I do really enjoy it and I like learning about it. And I have a so much stronger appreciation for science. So I'll give Jack my email. If anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I love talking about the cosmetology world, styling, hair, makeup. Also, people will go into maybe aesthetics, into skincare too, which is heavily in science. So if you have any questions about any of it, feel free to send me an email and I'm happy to help. So this was really awesome. Thanks for listening and for letting me share about what I do and what I'm passionate about. And I hope that it was really interesting and informative for you guys.